Yes, you hear me right, I have won an award. Now I haven't won an award since I was about 9 years old when I came second in a judo competition. Right, and here it is, landed the Audi S6. Fires into life, give it a bit of the old tap of the old throttle. Oh, she's fruity. On Monday is my Sandero, which is now on the button. Put a battery on it. Well, I say I put a battery on it, my valeter put a battery on it. He's been good at the old battery duty this last few days with the cold weather. He's changed 2 batteries, so he's learning. I told him that if he ever got sacked from here, he could get a job at Alfred's. So he didn't take that very well. Now before we get into today's video, just a quick mention from our sponsor at Vehicle Score. If you're about to go and buy a used vehicle, then you must check out Vehicle Score. Vehicle Score service is completely free to use. The basic service is simple. You just go onto the Vehicle Score website, type in your registration number, and you'll get a unique score to your car, which you can compare to the one in Vehicle Score's database. It gives you lots of free information such as vehicle data, the MOT history, the mileage history, and even a free valuation. But also they carry out their in-depth check service, making sure your vehicle is free of finance, making sure it's never been involved in an accident, so an insurance loss, or a uninsured loss, so it's not been for a salvage auction, something which standard HPI checks might not pick up on. It'll make sure it's never been used as a taxi, never been imported or exported, had a colour change, any mileage discrepancies. It's one of the most in-depth checks out there at the best possible price, and it gets better because you get a discount for being a Car UK viewer. Simply type in Car UK 20 and you'll get 20% off any of their paid checks, with them starting from as little as a cup of coffee. So make sure you check out Vehicle Score when buying your next car, and always remember the basic service is completely free to use, so get yourself over to vehiclescore.co.uk or download the app today. Evening all, welcome back to the Car UK channel. You join me here at the car pitch where dealing cheap cars under £5,000 retail. So, first 2 full days, or this is day 3 now, Saturday, back since the Christmas break. And it's been okay actually, to be fair. The weather's took a bit of a turn today and it's a bit cold. In fact, it's been cold really the last couple of days. Been feeling it. And also my heater's broke down, which has upset me a little bit. But beside that, it's been alright. We've sold couple of bits today, and we've had quite a few inquiries as well. Just tripped up there. Quite a few inquiries as well on vehicles that are sort of making the way through the chain. Got a few bits off to paint, and just managed to sort of start things rolling again as well. So it's been a positive few days. So let me show you around anyway what's been going on, what's arrived, and what we sold. Right, let me show you around then where we're up to. So first of all, you might notice straight away the Audi's moved. I'll come back to that. We'll start inside. So we've got a couple of free sold cars here at the moment. 2 that are about to go out, well, the next on Tuesday, and one we sold today, which is this 107, which we've just decided to throw on the ramp straight away because we need to do quite a bit to that one. We'll start with this little 107. So this is a 2012 plate facelift Peugeot 107, which is the same as the Igos, which is the same as the C1s, as I've mentioned many times on the channel. So this is a facelift one, though I think we have mentioned this on the channel before. This was a previous categorised vehicle some years ago. I bought it cheap off a trader. It needed a clutch, which is very typical on one of these C1s and Igos. I'd say for every 3 or 4 we buy, one needs a clutch of some description. So we anyway got it cheap enough, but we obviously need to put a bit of work into it. Also need some suspension stuff, etc. It was parked up actually outside here, and they had a call on it Friday. Lady who already had a Igo offers about 9 months ago, unfortunately had it written off by some idiot driver, and she wanted another one. So I said, I haven't got any Igos, but I've got C1s and 107s of the same car. Come down and have a look. She had a look at the yellow one we've got, which I'll show you later. We had got a silver one, which is same year as this, but it's a slightly, it's done a lot less miles. It's a 5-door, and obviously it's a HPI clear car. That's a lot more money. It's near to, I think that's $28.95. This one was only $21.95. She wasn't bothered about the categorisation previously. She would much rather have a car that was £600-700 cheaper, that's had a previous damage marker on. She wasn't bothered. Car's clean, straight, drives absolutely fine, other than the clutch issue and a few little nicks and knacks on the suspension, which we're going to do. So it's up in the air now, going to be done. So we've got a new clutch for it, which is here. So we've got keep these in stock now, because see, we do that many of them. Same with the water pumps, because they always go on them. So we've got a new water pump. We've been buying them online from Amazon because they're a lot cheaper than the motor factors. And we've just done another water pump actually on that black one as well, which is a sold car going out. So we're going to do that.
In fact, I can show you actually on these what I mean by the water pumps. Sometimes they go a bit noisy and you can actually physically hear them whining away. Well, most of the time you get little leaks like you can just see here. Little dripping out there, that's a leaking coolant, or well, water, because hardly any coolant in it. So that obviously will want servicing. Change the pump, do all the service kit on it, wants a tyre on it, wants a couple of new gearbox seals as well. So when you take the clutch out on these, always change the gearbox oil seals. We had 1 or 2 incidents in the past where we noticed they'd start to leak. Even though they weren't leaking, you take them out and disturb them and they'd start leaking straight away afterwards. So we learnt a lesson on those. So always change the gearbox oil seals on these Igos. So we'll change all those. It wants, I think it wants suspension on it as well, strut, arms, and a couple of tie rods as well, a few bits and bobs. But they're all cheap. These are good things about these Igos. They're all cheap. And this is a decent one as well. It's nice and solid as well. Done about 90,000 miles. It'll do the job for someone. Cheap motoring. Also as well, we've got these 2 sold cars, which were sold before Christmas, which are now near enough done. I've just pulled the C1 out. This is just going to have a bit of a clean and a brush up, and a few little bits I'm just going to touch in and buff it brains out of it, and then that'll go out Tuesday. That was the cheapest one I think we've ever sold, at about 1,800 quid I think it was, on a 60 plate. But again, you know, we've done all the same to that. Tyres, it's had wheel trims on it, put some new mats in, carpets and stuff like that. Water pump, service kit, suspension, undersealed it all as well. You can quite see, but completely undersealed it all round underneath, all the nooks and crannies. Just gives them a bit of longevity. And the 207's done as well, the white one. This has been with us before Christmas. Again, never even made it on sale. We just sold it straight away. There's a customer that we took a deposit off on a Clio, and then the Clio anyway didn't turn out to be good enough really to retail. So we said, look, we're gonna give you money back. He said, have you got anything else? So he got, yeah, I've got this 207 that's just come in. Told them about it, and they went, yeah, we'll have that instead. So we've just finished all that off. That's just had new tyres. He's had all new brakes on it as well. Just been MOT'd. So we just had it back on today to finish off the service, and then we just got to valet it because it's a little bit messy inside. So we just want a nice valet, and then we can get it out to the customer. I let them have that at same money the Clio was, which they put a deposit on, and which we, like I said, it wasn't good enough when we got it in the air. It was a bit ropey, so we decided to give the deposit back on that one. But I honoured the price of the car. So the Clio they originally were going to buy was $21.95. This was probably going to go up for about 26 because it was a 12 plate one. But I said, sod it, you've waited around, you've been patient with me, I'll honour the price. Yeah, I'm starting to regret that slightly because we spent quite a bit of money on it, but you know, a man of my word, it's done. And at the end of the day, they've got a decent car for the son to drive around in, you know, so fair enough, done, dusted. Other than that, what else have we been doing? Audi, the other sale of the day, the A3. This has been with us for about 8 weeks, this Audi, and we haven't had a great deal of interest on it. But in the last 48 hours, we seem to have had a bit of interest on it. Some chaps came down today who bought it, but we also had someone else who I've been meshing as well about it, who was supposed to come and view it on Monday, but now obviously they won't be coming because I've just told them I've sold it. So you snooze, you lose, unfortunately, this game. It's an A3. We had it from Aston Barclay. It's a 1.6 petrol, and it's a nice clean car. We did a little bit of paint to it when it first come in. Had a bit of lacquer peel on one of the quarters. Paint man sorted it out and got it all lovely and mint. And that's really it, really. It's done 90,000 miles. It's a clean old bus and drives really well. So we've just got to get it in the workshop. I think we've got down for new front brakes, got to put on it. We've already done the rear brakes. They were horrendous when it first arrived, dead noisy and sticking. So we fixed them, but it really wants disc pads on the front as well because they're a little bit sort of juddery when you get up to sort of speed. So anyway, we're going to do all that. We've got to service it. I've got to get a rear wiper motor fitted for it, which is somewhere in my parts department. But anyway, quite pleased that one sold because that was the car we had longest in stock. And I was worried in case it was just because it's petrol, no one would want it. Because most of the time, A3s, most people want diesels. But nope, it went. So it was a good call in the end. And hopefully, even when we've done all the work to it, we're still going to have a reasonable margin out of it. As you can see there, about that wiper motor's broken. We need to sort that out. I'll go find that in a minute. Other things we managed to get on sale. Well, we've got some more C1s and 107s back. So I've just got this one that's landed. This is literally just landed. So this is a 2013 plate C1. So they went up to 14. So this is one of the last of the year runs. Say C1, 5-door. Bit mileagey, slightly over. It's done 106, I think it's done, off the top of my head. It's going to be up for about 26.95. I've got a silver one as well that's coming in on a 62 plate which has done about 75,000 miles. That's going to be about 28.95 or 29.50, somewhere around there. So roughly placing that in the middle as well, because I've got another one on 11 plate that's a little bit cheaper. So just trying to spread them out a little bit on the pricing band. But it's a nice clean thing. It drives really well. I say it's a C1. So they're usually a bit quirky, the C1s. Always got like patterned interiors and a few little bits on them, knick-knacks and stuff. They're alright. I quite like the C1s, and they were nicest ones on the facelift, I thought. The front ends were a lot nicer to look at. I'll be amazed if that isn't sold within less than a week. So I've just got to get that boarded up in a minute. We've also got the bright yellow 107, which you're never going to lose in the car park. This is a 11 plate one, pre-facelift, 61 plate, cheap road tax model, cheap insurance group model. I think it's a group 2, so it's a bit basic on the old inside. You know, you got to wind me down windows and stuff like that. But it's cheap to insure, and that's the main thing. Cheap to insure, cheap to run. Say it's got a wait and prep sign in there. New tyres I'm going to put on it. I've got some wheel trims which I've ordered. New boot carpet, that's already been fitted. I've already fitted that. It's going to be under sealed. I've got to put a couple of engine mounts on it as well, because they're a little bit sort of rattly and vibrating, which we've got in stock as well. So, and wheel trims need changing. So we're going to finish. Well, now it's on sale because it can be driven. You can see what it's going to be like when it's done. And obviously we need stock on the pitch, but we'll put it back off probably Monday, Tuesday, just to finish off. It wants about an hour in the workshop just to finish those last few jobs off. But again, I'd be amazed if that is on sale or still here in a couple of weeks, unless the colour is the problem. I don't know, you tell me. Would you buy a yellow car? That is the question, because the last Peugeot 107 we had that stuck around for a while was a red one, and red cars always do seem to last quite a while on our pitch. I don't know why, but will yellow be the same? Now I'm hoping it's not going to be here for a while and it's not cursed like the last yellow car I had, which was that horrible Fiat 500, if you remember, which cost me an arm and a leg. In fact, someone mentioned it on a post I put on Facebook when I did a walk round on this yesterday, and they said you've bought another yellow peril. And I'm thinking, oh god, not again. Anyway, that'll be fine. We'll get rid of that. I'm sure someone will buy that. It's a 107 at the end of the day. The good news, another car that I think might be good news, is this Citroen C3 Picasso. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of Citroens at all, really. I quite like the quirkiness of them, but of a certain age, particularly the market that I'm buying, a lot of them are quite ropey. This isn't one of them. This is a decent one. This is a C3 Picasso, which I've always had a bit of a soft spot for, not sure why. 1.6 diesel, which I quite like, the 1.6 HDI. I'm not a fan of the petrols, but this is the diesel. Nice thing, and it's only done 67,000 miles, which is quite low, really, for a car of this age on an 09 plate. And it's really, really clean. Bought it off a subscriber, local to us, and all we've had to do to it, all we've had to do to it, we've had to put new brakes on it, which we've done. We had to put new wheel bearings on it, because they were the noisiest wheel bearings I've ever heard. How the car managed to get here in one piece, I don't know, but he managed it, God bless him. So we've changed those, done a few other little suspension bits on it as well, got the brakes on it, and it now drives absolutely superb. The only job left to do on it is the service, which we'll do when we sell it, and I also need to put a cam belt and water pump on it, because we haven't got much in the way of service history on it. So, you know, I think it's going to want a cam belt and a pump doing. Around 67,000 miles it's got on it. It's either been done, in which case when we take it apart we'll see it, and if it is, then great. But if it hasn't, which I suspect it hasn't been done, we're going to put a new one on. So we've priced that into the equation. New cam belt and water pump on it. That has got a good fair few years of life left in it, and it's a proper little boxy thing as well. These are, you know, got loads of space in them. They're a really decent little square family bus, or it can be used as like even as a van potentially. You say knock them seats down, you've got a really big loading area there to work with. We'll see. It might not sell that. It might not sell. It might be one of those vehicles that lingers around and I made a bad call on. I've never sold a C3 Picasso retail. James at Chops Garage, he swears by me, thinks the good news, so we'll see. Other things we've been working on, well, I'll tell you what I've been working on actually. I've Viva, done a little walk round on this morning. I have put a sign and a board in the window for it, but it's nowhere near really ready, to be honest. It needs an ABS sensor, which is literally just arrived actually a few minutes ago. Postman just dropped it off, so we can crack on with that Monday. So we can get the ABS fixed, because it's got a sensor that's knackered on the driver's side. So I've ordered one online, because the same sensor from online is about £100 cheaper than it is from my motor factors. So I thought, sorry, I'll wait a couple of days. Wheels next. I've got to get the wheels done. These horrible, horrible black wheels, which I don't think would have been original. I'll stand corrected, but I don't think they've been original. Should have been silver. They're awful. And like I say, black wheels I'm not a fan of. So I'm going to put them back silver. So I'm going to take them off on Monday. We're going to get it inside, do the sensor, sort that out, park it back up in the corner, put it on some axle stands, get the wheels off and send them to be powder coated. Put back silver. I think that'll make them look smart again. We do all right with these Vivas. The good news, we do all right with Corsas as well, obviously, but the Vivas are, how can I say, they're not Corsa based at all. There's nothing Corsa related. They're actually sort of basically Chevrolet product with sort of the looks of a Vauxhall, you know, chrome trim and a few little knickknacks on them. Use their own engines as well, 1 litre, which is quite reliable actually. I say we do all right with them. I've had 3 or 4 in the last 6 months, and all of them have sold, with the exception of a green one that was here for a while because it was bright green. It was a bit of a Marmite colour. They all sold pretty much straight away. So I'm pretty sure this one will go quick as well. So they're just good news. This one's a nice one. It's got like leather seats in it. It's got city mode in it. It's got traction control, Bluetooth, USB ports, cruise, lane assist in it. It's all right for what it is. 80,000 miles. Just want them wheels sorting, a few little touch-ins, buffer up, and I think she'll be ready then, and I'll be amazed if she's with us for less than 30 days. Well, actually, that's the plan anyway. Other things as well we've been working on. I've had a bit of interest on my red 108, which I'm amazed hasn't sold yet because it's the lowest mileage car on the pitch and it drives superb. And yeah, these 108s, which obviously are the follow-on to the 107s and C1s and Mark IIs, I thought these would be good news. Happy chap, innit? I thought these would be good news. And we say we're getting interest on them, but I think it's just because they're all about £4,000-ish mark. It just sits in that sort of just over that pricing band where we do sell stuff in that pricing band between 4 and 5, but it's a lot easier to sell stuff that's around the 2.5, 3.5 grand mark. But yeah, anyway, I've got faith in them. I think we're getting doors open on them. So the main thing, if you're getting doors open, that's a good sign. So when you're not getting anyone looking at them, you've got to be worried. So they'll go, I'm sure. Corsa, I was going to put this on sale, retail it, but I've decided against it. It's I sent it to the paint shop to have a door painted. Paint man basically told me, look, time you've painted this door, it's going to have to paint this door and that door. The silver's a bit shit on it. It won't match up. See if you can get a door for it in colour. So I took his advice and we managed to find a door in colour for it before Christmas. So anyway, I went to pick it up the other day, bring it back. And I don't know, just something about it where it drove. It drove okay, but it was a little bit lurchy. Interior's a little bit sort of worn inside in places, and it looks a nice thing. It's only done 80 thou, and with the door done, it will be a straight car. But I'm just not feeling it. There's something not quite right for me when I drive it. It doesn't feel as peppy as it should, and I don't know. I'm not feeling it. So I've decided not to retail it, and I've got someone who's I've traded it on, and they're basically going to give me my money back bar 50 quid for a drink. So I've decided against that. You have to be careful with Corsas. They're brilliant sellers, but I do have to be picky with which ones I sell because they are troublesome. And they're brilliant sellers, everyone wants them, but this is a template and it's a pre-facelift as well, so they're getting a bit dated on the front end. It's a lot easier to sell the facelift ones, I'll show you a picture of here. They're a lot easier to sell. So yeah, so unless it's a really good one and it's not giving me any problems, I don't really want to get involved with them if I can. I much prefer to be selling 12, 13 plate ones with a bit less of mileage on. So anyway, we're going to trade that one on. The other car which I need to pull into the workshop on Monday is my Sandero, which is now on the button. Put a battery on it. Well, I say I put a battery on it. My valeter put a battery on it. He's been good at the old battery duty this last few days with the cold weather. He's changed 2 batteries, so he's learning. I told him that if he ever got sacked from here, he could get a job at Alfred's. So he didn't take that very well. But anyway, he's done it. And it's on the button, so we just need to get that in the workshop, checked over on Monday, and hopefully we can get that on sale. Probably going to be around the 32.95. It's a 1.5 diesel. I think it's either done 102 or 98,000. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he did drive very, very well. And we've already had a few inquiries on it, so that definitely needs to be fast-tracked next week to get on sale as well. Yeah, so plenty to be getting on with next week, and there's lots of other cars as well we've not even talked about, but we'll catch up with those in the next update. Let me talk to you about another vehicle actually, something that we did see on the channel about a month or so ago, and I keep getting asked about it. No, it's not the Jag, I'm done with that. It is the Audi S6. This is a car that I bought from G3, not something that I would usually buy. But I took a leave of my senses and decided to put my hand up and buy it, because I thought it was cheap, and it wasn't wrong.
It's here anyway. It's actually, well, I'll give you the story about it in a second. Let me first show you the footage of it, if those who don't know, when I first bought it from G3.
Selling it at 61. Here and go at 61 would have been lost. Big twice, go to 6,000 one bid. 61.
Number. I'm not sure what the fuck I've just done, but I just bought an S6 Audi. Right, and here it is. Landed the Audi S6. £6,500 time we were, well, just under actually, time it got here with all the fees and delivery, etc. And then it went from our place to, well, as you can see, a few feet next door. I actually sold it on to a colleague of mine. He runs a garage next door, does a bit of work for us. He's had it off me, and say I've had a bit of a drink out of it. Now, if he didn't want it, my intentions was to do something with it, because this was hugely cheap, but it was a bit of a gamble, let's be honest. It could have been a can of worms. Now, it does need work. It does need 4 tyres, because all the tyres are shot. It's also got a horrible banging noise when you drive it, which is coming from the prop shaft bush. It's got a knackered prop shaft bush, which apparently is really common on S6s and RS6s. Not that I'm some oracle on them, but I've done my research since, and it's really common. And you can either buy a prop, which is really expensive, or you can buy a upgraded prop shaft bush kit, which is what we're going to do for this one. But they're still like 350 quid, they're not cheap. So we've got to get that sorted, and that will solve that vibration issue. And then it wants 4 new tyres, and then arguably it wants the wheels sorting. I mean, you could either change the wheels or have them powder coated. My intention, if it was still my car, what I was going to do with it was put 4 new tyres on, have all the wheels powder coated, and then I would have had to fix the prop shaft bush, obviously. I wasn't aware of that when we went through the auction, but we knew something would be needed. And then I've had this paintwork done, which my colleague is going to have done, but he's in no rush to have it done just yet. He's got more pressing things to sort out first, like getting it running right. Yeah, it's got a court on this corner here, which we saw at the auction, and it's been sort of caught down the side as well. I think, to be honest, if you buff that up and get the dent man on it, you'd make it 90% there. But I would probably just have the doors painted and then it blended, and just had it all looking 100%. Had the wheels powder coated, put some new wheels, tyres on it, sorted the prop bush out, serviced it up to death, and then look to see if we could find a buyer for it, trade it on. The cheapest one I could find in the country was on this year, which is a 14 plate, and yes, by the way, the private plate came with the car. It was about 12.5 grand. I think I could find the cheapest one for an S6. So, you know, this was 6.5 grand. Even if I'd spent 1,800 quid on parts on it, it still would have come in, you know, at less than 8,500 quid. There was a tidy margin in there. So yeah, it was a no-brainer at the end of the day, but you could have got it back, and if it had been an engine problems with it, it'd have been game over, because trying to fix something like this, a big 4-litre twin turbocharged V8, you've got to know what you're doing. But anyway, luckily the engine's good. In fact, it's better than good. It sounds awesome. Inside, very clean thing really for its age and the mileage. Nice old thing, and he said it sounds really well. In fact, I'll start it up for you. Fires into life. You can quite listen to it. Just give it a bit of the old tap of the old throttle. Oh, she's fruity.
So there you are, the S6. Found a new home just literally a few yards from our doorstep. Another vehicle actually in the background, I'll show you. You might recognise, I forgot about this actually, is little 207, which has arrived back today. Warranty claim, yes, bloody warranty claim. Now, luckily, it's only a coil pack issue, but we only sold this before Christmas, so it's only been out a couple of weeks. But the chap has been absolutely sound about it. He just said, no, don't worry, I'll bring it back to you. I said, no, we can come get it. No, I'll come and get my trailer, drop it off, which is brilliant. He didn't need to do that, but he did. And he said he's been absolutely sound, and he wants a coil pack. So, one of those things, but this is why we give warranties on stuff, because we just don't know what's going to happen a few weeks down the line. And to be honest with you, most warranty issues are usually going to be in the first 30 days.
because most cars have been stood up for ages, and then when they start being put into regular use, that's usually when you start finding any sort of little gremlins hiding away. So it's the main thing is to get them back, get them sorted quickly, and get the customer back on the road. So I've sorted a new coil pack for that, and we'll get that sorted and back out to the customer on Monday.
God, it is absolutely freezing out there. Right, what else has been going on? I'm going to show you. I've won an award. Let me show you my award. Yes, you hear me right. I have won an award. Now, I haven't won an award since I was about 9 years old when I came second in a judo competition. So to win Best New Dealership of 2024 was a bit of a shock, to be honest. Now, those of you who don't know Joe from Shifting Metal, where have you been? You need to get yourself over to Shifting Metal, because if you like my content, you'll like Joe's as well. But he also hosts his other channel, which is Shifting Metal 2.0, which is more sort of podcast-based, talking to guys who are starting out in the motor trade and people who have been in the motor trade for donkey's years. It's really interesting. And they had an award ceremony, and I out of the blue, got Best New Dealership Award, which I didn't see coming. So thank you to Joe and at Shifting Metal for giving me the award, and also a big shout out to him as well, because his channel is brilliant, but also I find these 2.0 channel talking more about the trade and to other traders really, really interesting. So long may that continue. So on to next week, what we're doing. So Monday, I am actually not here on Monday. Lads are in, but I'm not here. I'm going to be down at the new G3 site in Bedford, which they've opened up. New physical auction site, and it's the first sale on Monday. So I'm catching up from a few faces you may know from YouTube. We'll see, have a bit of a chinwag with those, but also I'll be buying. I always go and buy at the G3 auctions. I actually do quite well at G3. I don't think I've ever come away without a vehicle. Now, I'm not going to be buying loads, maybe one or two that I've seen already that might fit the bill for me. But I have also got another colleague of ours who I buy vehicles for four-wheel drive stuff, and they are interested in a few items. So hopefully we can come away with some stock on Monday. But then straight back to here to the car pitch, and then we're going to get, a ruck of cars out Tuesday that have sold, and then focus on getting the other cars that we sold this weekend in the workshop and fixed and done. But more crucially, what I need to be doing is trying to get some more cars physically on sale, boards and windows, and try and get them sold next weekend. And hopefully, when the weather picks up, should be busy again. So plenty to be getting on with, and plenty of content coming over the next week or so, including some auction videos, which should be out, hopefully, in the next 24 to 48 hours. So make sure you check those out as well. So thank you guys for watching this video. And if you haven't done so already, do us a favour, please like and subscribe. You can press that like and subscribe button for me. It means a lot to me, and it helps me grow the channel. And also, don't forget to check out today's sponsors, our good friends at Vehicle Score. The basic service is completely free to use, but if you want to use any of their paid services, you get a discount for being a Car UK viewer. Make sure you use that promo code CARUK20, and you can find their details in the link description. Thanks again, and I'll see you all in the next one.